Imagine stepping into Rome, not just, as a tourist, snapping the usual photos, but really getting it, feeling the history, the culture, in a way that actually sticks with you.
Right. That's exactly the kind of Roman experience we're aiming to set you up for in this deep dive.
Yeah, a truly informed one.
And to get there, we've gone through, well, quite a collection of resources for you. Everything from YouTube travel vlogs, capturing that street level
Oh,
energy,
yeah, those are great.
to the really detailed insights you get from seasoned travel guides, giving that historical and practical side.
So think of this as your shortcut, your curated path to being genuinely well-informed for, say, a 4-day trip to Rome without getting totally bogged down.
Exactly. Our mission here is basically to distill the must-know stuff. The key landmarks, sure, but also the savvy travel tips and maybe some surprising facts that make it memorable.
We want to help you make it unforgettable, but also, kind of effortless to navigate.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's start with day one. This day is really focused on the foundations of Rome, its ancient beating heart.
And day one should absolutely start with a proper Roman breakfast. Our sources kept pointing to Roscioli Cafe.
Ah, Roscioli. Classic choice.
Right. Think a perfect cappuccino, a delicate cornetto, should set you back maybe $6 to $8 usually.
And I saw mentions of a pistachio cornetto there.
Yeah.
Apparently it's something else if you want a little indulgence.
Ooh, noted. A good way to fuel up for a morning packed with ancient sights.
Definitely needed.
Mhm.
Because your first encounter, well, it really has to be the Colosseum, doesn't
This
it?
icon itself.
Yeah, that legendary amphitheater. For about $18 entry, you can walk where gladiators actually stood.
Wow.
Mm,
And lots of sources mentioned the Roma Pass here, potentially for skipping those sometimes very long lines.
good point. Worth looking into. And just, a stone's throw away is the Arch of Constantine.
That huge triumphal arch, it struck me how these weren't just decorations, they were like massive stone billboards for imperial victories.
Powerful statements, absolutely.
Mm,
Then you head up Palatine Hill.
the views, right?
Oh, the views are stunning, looking down over the Roman Forum. But it's also where Rome's elite lived. Think ancient Beverly Hills. Gives you a real sense of the hierarchy back then.
Fascinating. Okay, next, something a bit different.
Yes, really unique. The Basilica of San Clemente. For about $12, you literally descend through layers of history.
Layers, how so?
Well, you start in a 12th century basilica, pretty standard, but then you go down,
Into something older.
exactly, a 4th century church underneath, and then keep going down, and you're in the remains of an ancient Roman house and even a temple.
Wow, like a time capsule literally stacked.
It really is. And a tip we saw was to visit the underground parts early, for a quieter, more contemplative feel.
Makes sense. And from digging deep, where to next?
You emerge near Circus Maximus. Today it's, well, a big open field mostly.
Hard to picture the chariot races now.
Almost impossible. But imagine the thunder of hooves, the roar of, maybe a 250,000 spectators? It's free to wander around. Standing at the southern end gives great views back towards Palatine Hill.
Okay, mid-morning, the Roman Forum itself.
Right, the absolute heart of ancient Roman life. Your Colosseum ticket gets you in here too.
And this is where you really piece together daily life back then. Temples, government buildings.
All the important stuff. Don't miss the Temple of Saturn, the Arch of Septimius Severus, the Curia. That's where the Senate met.
Shaping history right there.
And a key spot many sources highlight is the rostrum, the speaker's platform. Imagine the orators, Cicero, maybe others, delivering speeches that changed the world right from that spot.
Incredible. Okay, all this history works up an appetite. Lunch.
Lunch. We head to the Monte neighborhood to a place called La Carbonara.
Aptly named.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
And apparently, their spaghetti alla carbonara is the real deal. Fresh pasta, egg yolks, guanciale, pecorino romano, proper stuff.
Sounds amazing. Price-wise.
Expect maybe $25 to $30, perhaps with some local wine. And if it's nice out, grab an outside table. Great people watching in Monte.
Perfect. So after lunch, the afternoon.
The afternoon starts on Capitoline Hill, one of the famous 7 hills, huge historical significance.
And the Piazza del Campidoglio is up there, designed by Michelangelo.
That's the one, a masterpiece of Renaissance design. You can really see the thought that went into framing this space.
And the museums are there too.
Yes, the Capitoline Museums, amazing collection of Roman art. You'll find the Capitoline wolf statue there, the symbol of Rome's founding. Entry's about $15.
Okay, then a short walk to Piazza Venezia.
Right, that bustling square dominated by the Vittoriano monument. The huge white one, often called the altar of the fatherland.
Can you go up?
Yep, there's an elevator, costs around $12, takes you to the terrace. Fantastic panoramic views. Sources suggest going in the afternoon for the best light.
Good tip, keeping with the Roman history theme.
We move on to Trajan's Market, often called the world's first sort of shopping mall.
Really? A shopping mall?
Well, a complex of offices and shops, yeah. About $15 to explore. And right next to it is Trajan's Column, with those incredible carvings spiraling all the way up, telling the story of his wars.
And there's a museum inside the market complex, too.
That's right, the Museum of the Imperial Fora. Lots to see in that area.
Okay, late afternoon. Time for another icon.
Absolutely. The Pantheon. An architectural marvel nearly 2,000 years old and still standing strong.
And entry is free, right?
Remarkably, yes. Everyone can just walk in and look up at that incredible dome with the oculus open to the sky. Think about the engineering.
Mind-boggling.
And nearby,
Just a short walk to Piazza Navona. Beautiful Baroque square, famous for Bernini's Fountain of the Four Rivers.
always seems lively there in pictures.
It is. Street performers, artists, a real buzz. And check out the Church of St. Agnes in Egon on the square, too. It's impressive.
Okay, winding down day one. Evening plans. Transitioning to evening.
Yeah?
Maybe start at the Spanish Steps. Great spot to just sit, relax, watch the sunset. Trinita de Monte Church sits at the top.
Lovely. Then the Trevi Fountain.
Gotta do it. Toss that coin over your left shoulder. Remember to ensure you return to Rome. Dusk is apparently a magical time to see it all lit up.
Perfect timing. And for dinner.
Dinner takes us to Trastevere. Charming neighborhood. The spot is Trattoria de Enzo al 29.
What's the specialty?
Classic Roman pastas. Cacio e pepe. Amatriciana. Highly recommended. Probably looking at $30 to $35. It's popular, though.
So get there early or book.
Definitely wise, yeah. A great way to wrap up a very full first day.
Okay, that sounds like an incredible first day. What about day 2?
Day 2 shifts focus a bit. We're heading towards Vatican City and the icons around there.
Starting with breakfast again, I assume.
Of course. Keep it simple. Bar del Cappuccino, quick, satisfying cappuccino and cornetto, maybe $5 to $7. Just the fuel you need.
Fuel for the Vatican Museum.
Exactly. That's the morning's main event.
Yeah.
Vast, awe-inspiring. Entry is around $20, but the key thing, book way in advance. It's essential.
I've heard the queues are legendary.
They can be. Inside, though, wow. Renaissance masterpieces, the Raphael rooms, the Laocoon sculpture,
And of course, the Sistine Chapel.
the ultimate highlight. Many sources strongly suggest a guided tour here, just to unpack the sheer amount of art and history.
Good advice. Any logistical tips for timing?
Yeah, definitely. Remember, the museums are closed on Sundays, and the Pope has his public audience on Wednesday mornings, which makes the area very busy.
So maybe Tuesday or Thursday.
Generally the best bet's for a slightly less crowded visit, yeah.
Okay, after the museums.
Straight into St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in the world. And remarkably, entry is free.
Free. Wow, but you can climb the dome.
Yes, for about $10.
Yeah.
And the views are absolutely worth the climb. Breathtaking panorama of Rome.
And inside the basilica itself.
Don't miss Michelangelo's Pietà. It's incredibly moving. And Bernini's Baldachin, that enormous bronze canopy over the altar. It's just magnificent.
Any strategy for visiting?
Sources suggest maybe doing the dome climb first, as the queue for that can build up quite a bit later in the day.
Makes sense. What about the Vatican Gardens? Are they accessible?
They are, but usually requires a guided tour. It's about $35. Offers a really peaceful escape, beautiful landscaping, fountains. Covers almost half of Vatican City, actually.
A hidden side of the Vatican. Interesting. Okay, mid-morning, moving slightly away.
Yes, just across the river, basically, to Castel San Angelo.
Hadrian's tomb, right. Turned fortress.
Exactly.
Okay.
Started as Emperor Hadrian's mausoleum, then became a papal fortress, even a prison. About $15 entry. You can explore the chambers.
And the views from the top.
Stunning. Especially looking back towards St. Peter's and along the Tiber River. Really worth it.
Okay, lunch after all that history.
Lunchtime. Head to Pizzarium. It's famous for pizza al taglio pizza by the slice.
Ah, the Roman way. Sold by weight.
Yep, exactly. Allows you to try a few different kinds. They have amazing gourmet toppings. Potato and rosemary, porchetta. People rave about them.
Sounds delicious and pretty affordable, too.
Yeah, probably $10 to $15 for a really satisfying lunch.
Perfect. Afternoon plans.
Afternoon kicks off at Piazza del Popolo, grand neoclassical square, Egyptian obelisk in the middle, Bernini fountains. Very elegant.
And there are views from nearby.
Yes. Climb up to the Pincio Terrace. More fantastic panoramic views. It connects you right to the Villa Borghese Gardens.
Rome's big central park.
That's the one. beautiful park for a stroll.
Oh.
And within the park is the Galleria Borghese.
Ah, the art gallery. Bernini Caravaggio.
Titian. Incredible collection. Entry is about $25, but like the Vatican museums, booking way ahead for a specific time slot is absolutely essential. They're very strict.
When's a good time to aim for?
An early afternoon slot often works well.
Got it. After the gallery.
You could revisit the Spanish Steps, maybe see them in a different light. Same for the Trevi Fountain, catch it in the late afternoon sun.
And Piazza Barberini.
Worth seeing Bernini's Triton Fountain there. It's impressive and maybe slightly less crowded than Trevi.
A good spot to pause.
Okay, evening approaching on day 2. As evening comes on, many sources suggest heading back towards the Pantheon. Seeing the sunset through the oculus is apparently quite magical.
Oh, I like that idea.
Then, maybe a leisurely stroll through Piazza Navona again, as it comes alive at night. Street performers.
And gelato. Has to be gelato.
Absolutely. Gelateria del Teatro is often recommended, known for creative flavors. Probably around $5 or so.
Perfect end to the day's exploring, almost. Dinner.
Dinner on day 2, we're looking at Ristorante da Francesco. It's conveniently near Piazza Navona.
What kind of food?
Good traditional Roman dishes. Fettuccine with truffles gets mentioned. Or a classic pizza margherita. Expect maybe $30 to $40 with wine.
And dessert. Always room for dessert.
Definitely. Their tiramisu is apparently highly praised. A must-try.
Sounds like another fantastic day. What about day 3? Getting off the beaten path a bit.
Exactly. D3 is all about exploring some hidden gems, maybe less crowded spots, and having some slightly different adventures.
Starting with coffee, naturally.
But exceptional coffee this time. Sant'Eustachio il Caffè. It's practically a Roman institution famous for its unique, kind of secret brewing method.
Intriguing. Coffee and a cornetto.
The perfect start. Around $6 to $8. And lots of people buy their coffee beans to take home as a souvenir.
Good idea. Where does this excellent coffee fuel us towards?
Up to Aventine Hill. It's known for being really peaceful, great atmosphere, and lovely views.
And the famous keyhole.
Ah, yes, the Knights of Malta keyhole. You peek through it, and it perfectly frames St. Peter's Basilica in the distance. It's free and quite magical.
Wow. And nearby.
The Garden of Oranges, Giardino degli Aranci. Also free, stunning panoramic city views. Early morning light is supposed to be beautiful there.
Sounds lovely. Any churches up there?
Yes, the Basilica of Santa Sabina. It's one of Rome's oldest churches. Very serene inside. Nice contrast to the grander basilicas.
Okay, after Aventine Hill.
You could swing by Circus Maximus again, maybe see it from a different angle, before heading to the Bocca della Verità.
The mouth of truth. Stick your hand in.
If you dare. Legend says it bites off the hands of liars. There's no fee, but a small donation is appreciated. Definitely go early for this one. The queue can get surprisingly long just for a photo op.
Right, the classic photo. Lunchtime.
Lunch takes us to the Testaccio neighborhood. A place called Flavio al Villa Vevedetto.
What's the vibe?
Really authentic Roman food. Maybe $25 to $35. And interestingly, it's built into the side of Monte Testaccio, which is actually an ancient Roman landfill made entirely of broken pottery amphora.
Built into an ancient garbage mound. That's amazing.
Only in Rome. And yes, their tiramisu also gets rave reviews. Seems to be a theme.
A delicious theme. Okay, afternoon plans for day 3 sound adventurous.
They are. We're heading out to the Appian Way, the ancient Roman road.
Can you walk it? Or cycle?
Cycling is highly recommended. You can rent bikes for around $20. It's a fantastic way to see ancient tombs, ruins, aqueducts stretching out into the countryside.
And the catacombs are out there.
Yes. You can stop and visit the catacombs of San Callisto. Really fascinating underground burial sites. You have to take a guided tour, which is included in the $10 entry fee. Wear comfy shoes.
Good tip. Anything else along the Appian Way?
The Mausoleum of Cecilia Metella. It's a really well-preserved, impressive circular tomb. Costs about $6 to enter and offers nice views of the surrounding area.
Okay, after cycling the Appian Way.
As late afternoon hits, maybe head to the Baths of Caracalla. These are huge ruins of a massive ancient Roman bath complex.
Baths on a grand scale.
Immense. Entries around $8. The late afternoon light filtering through the massive arches is supposed to be really atmospheric.
Sounds incredible. Evening of day 3.
Evening brings you back towards the center, specifically to Trastevere again. It's great for an evening stroll.
Maybe grab another gelato or an aperitivo.
Perfect time for aperitivo. Frigni e Frizioni is a popular spot for that free dinner, drinks, and snacks, usually around $10 to $15.
And for sunset.
For the best sunset views, head up Janicolo Hill, that's Janiculum Hill. It offers probably the most sweeping panoramic vista of the entire city, truly breathtaking as the lights come on.
The ultimate Rome viewpoint. Dinner to finish day 3.
Dinner back in the Testaccio district at Trattoria Perilli. It's a real institution, very traditional.
What should you try there?
Their coda alla vaccinara oxtail stew is a classic. Or another excellent carbonara, around $30 to $35 with wine. It's a local favorite, so definitely book ahead.
Okay, 3 amazing days down. What's in store for our final day, day 4?
Day 4 is about soaking up some more art, enjoying final scenic spots, and maybe a bit of shopping before saying farewell to Rome.
Starting with a final Roman breakfast.
Well, let's make it a good one. Panella Bakery. They're known for really high-quality artisanal bread and pastries.
Sounds delicious. Price?
Maybe $8 to $10.
Yeah.
A nice idea is to grab your breakfast and take it to the nearby Piazza Vittorio to eat outdoors.
Lovely. Morning art focus.
Yes, start at Palazzo Barberini. They houses the National Gallery of Ancient Art.
More masterpieces.
Absolutely. Works by Caravaggio, Raphael, Holbein. The palace itself is stunning, too. Entry is about $12. Definitely look for Caravaggio's Judith beheading Holofernes. It's intense.
Okay. And after the gallery?
You could revisit Piazza Barberini nearby, see the Triton Fountain again, maybe take a quick look at the famous Via Veneto.
Then something different. The Capuchin Crypt.
Ah, yes, the Crypt of the Capuchin Friars. It's quite unique, decorated entirely with the bones of thousands of monks.
Bones as decoration. Wow.
It's surprisingly intricate and maybe a little macabre for some, about $10 entry. And heads up, it can be a bit chilly down there.
Good to know. Mid-morning escape.
How about Villa Doria Pamphili? It's Rome's largest public park. Really spacious.
Good for stretching the legs. Maybe rent bikes again?
Yeah, bike rentals are available, around $10. A nice, relaxing way to explore the grounds if you have time.
Lunch on the final day. Pizza again.
Can never have too much Roman pizza.
Yeah.
Pizzeria Emma is a great choice, known for wood-fired Roman-style pizzas.
Thin and crispy crust.
That's the Roman style, yeah.
Okay.
I expect around $20 to $25 with a drink.
Perfect. Afternoon activities.
How about another palace? Palazzo Doria Pamphilj. This one is actually still a private residence, but a large part is an art gallery open to the public.
What's the highlight there?
Definitely Velázquez's portrait of Pope Innocent X. It's incredibly famous and powerful. Entry is about $14, includes an audio guide.
After the art, maybe some shopping?
If that's your thing, Via del Corso is Rome's main shopping street, lots of familiar brands, or maybe something more historical.
Like what?
Palazzo Valentini, Domus Romani. It's fascinating. They've excavated ancient Roman homes beneath the palazzo and used multimedia projections to bring them back to life.
Oh, cool. Like stepping back in time with technology.
Exactly. About $12, and best to book this one in advance, too.
Okay, late afternoon, one last ancient site.
Let's go big. The Baths of Diocletian. These are the largest public baths in ancient Rome. Huge complex.
More ruins to explore.
Yes, impressive ruins. About $10 entry. And right next to it, built into part of the baths, is the Church of Santa Maria degli Angeli e dei Martiri.
Designed by Michelangelo, isn't it?
Partly, yes. He adapted one of the grand halls of the baths. It's an incredible space.
Oh. Okay, evening of the last day. Where should we wander?
How about a stroll over to Tiber Island? That little island in the middle of the river, connected by ancient bridges.
Sounds peaceful.
It often is. There's a basilica on the island, Basilica di San Bartolomeo all'Isola. Just a nice place for a final Roman wander as dusk falls.
And the grand finale, the Last Supper in Rome.
Let's make it a good one. Osteria del Pegno, near Piazza Navona again.
What do they recommend?
Traditional Roman. Riederelli alla carbonara comes up again, or maybe tagliata di manzo sliced steak. And you guessed it.
Great tiramisu.
Apparently so. Expect around $30 to $40 with wine. And yeah, probably best to book ahead for your farewell meal.
That sounds like an incredible 4 days. But we should probably cover some practicalities too, right?
Absolutely. Crucial stuff. Best time to visit. Generally, spring, say, April to June, and fall, September, October.
Better weather, fewer crowds.
Exactly. Summer, July, and August gets very hot and very crowded.
Okay, getting from the airport, Fiumicino.
You've got options. The Leonardo Express train is fast. Direct to Termini station takes about 30 minutes. Costs around $15.
Cheaper options.
There's a regional train, FL1 line, costs only €8, takes a bit longer, 45-60 months, and stops at other stations like Trastevere or Ostiens, which might be useful depending on where you're staying.
The buses.
Taxis. Buses are outside Terminal 3, cheapest option but slowest. Taxis have a fixed rate, currently around €50 if your destination is within the Aurelian walls, the main central area.
Important point. And watch out for unofficial drivers.
Definitely. Only use the official white taxis from the taxi rank. Ignore anyone approaching you in the terminal or outside the line.
Good advice. Where to stay. You mentioned Trastevere.
Trastevere is great for that authentic feel. Lots of restaurants, nightlife. Centro Storico, the historic center, puts you right near the big landmarks.
Budget range.
It varies hugely, but maybe $80 on the low end, up to $300 or more per night for mid-range to nicer places. Other good neighborhoods are Monte Central, Cool Vibe, and Prati. Near the Vatican, more residential and elegant.
Getting around the city itself, walkable.
The very center is very walkable, yeah.
Yeah.
But Rome is big. Public transport, buses, trams, metro is useful.
The Roma Pass covers transport.
Yes, the 48 or 72-hour Roma Pass includes public transport, plus entry to 1 or 2 museums and discounts on others. Worth calculating if it saves you money.
Metro reliable.
Generally the most reliable, though its network is limited compared to, say, Paris or London.
Huh?
Buses go everywhere but can be slow in traffic. Taxis are readily available at ranks. Use the meter or use an app like FreeNow.
Okay, food. Beyond the specific places, any general tips?
Definitely try street food. Supply those fried rice balls, usually with mozzarella inside, are amazing. And trapezzino, kind of a pizza dough pocket filled with stews or other fillings.
Yum. And the classic pastas.
You have to try the big 4 Roman pastas: cacio e pepe, carbonara, amatriciana, and gricia. Fine trattorias that specialize in them. And gelato, obviously. Real artisanal gelato.
Any food tourist traps to avoid?
Yeah, generally be wary of places right next to major monuments, especially if they have staff outside aggressively trying to pull you in, or menus in dozens of languages with pictures of everything. Quality might not be the priority.
Look for where locals are eating.
Always a good sign. And understand pizza taglio. It's sold by the slice, usually by weight. Great for a quick, cheap lunch. Food tours or cooking classes are also fantastic ways to dive deeper into the cuisine.
Shopping. Beyond Via del Corso.
For more unique stuff, check out local markets. Porta Portese on Sunday mornings is huge, chaotic, but fun for bargain hunting. Tridonvale Market is a great food market near the Vatican. Via Colla di Rienzo in Prati has nice boutiques and homewares.
What about day trips if you have more time?
Easy ones. Naples and Pompeii are doable thanks to the high-speed train from Termini. Asti Antica, Rome's ancient port city, is super close and fascinating, like a mini Pompeii. Plus, you can hit the beach nearby.
Oh, a nice combo.
And Tivoli, with the stunning Villa d'Este gardens and Hadrian's Villa ruins, is another classic day trip.
Okay. Any final quick tips for navigating Rome smoothly?
Yeah, try to mix popular sites with lesser-known ones in the same neighborhood to save travel time. Be aware of those Vatican closures Sundays and Wednesday mornings.
Book ahead.
Absolutely crucial for the Vatican Colosseum Borghese Gallery. Gives you peace of mind and flexibility. Remember, most churches are free to enter. Just be respectful.
Safety. Pickpockets.
Be aware, especially in crowded areas like Termini, on buses, near major attractions. Keep valuables secure. Nothing unusual for a big city, just be sensible.
Cash or card?
Cards are widely accepted in restaurants and shops. But having some small change, some euros, is handy for coffee, gelato, small purchases, maybe donations in churches.
Phone data.
If you need reliable data, grabbing a local SIM card from Vodafone or TIM upon arrival is usually easy and cost-effective.
Great practical advice. So, wrapping this all up, over these 4 days, you've really journeyed through Rome's many layers, haven't you? From ancient foundations, Vatican grandeur, to hidden neighborhood charms, and of course, amazing food.
It's definitely more than just ticking off sites. It's about experiencing the blend, the history, the art, the life of the city.
Right. A truly deep and enriching experience, hopefully laid out efficiently here for you.
Which leads to maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
How does stepping off that main tourist track, seeking out those hidden corners, experiencing the everyday pulse of a city like Rome, how did that truly deepen your understanding?
Beyond just seeing the famous monuments.
Exactly. How does it connect you more profoundly to its long history and its living culture? Maybe ask yourself, what kind of unexpected discovery away from the crowds would you be most excited to find in the Eternal City?